What's up, guys? Let me make this video real quick. This is about wrestlers that come to MMA and boxing coaches. Wrestlers with wrestling experience coming to MMA and trying to find a boxing coach. I feel like so many boxing coaches in the MMA community are basically full of shit. First of all, a lot of the stuff they teach with big gloves will never work with little gloves. But also, more than that, there's one thing that I've seen quite a bit that just has never made any sense to me, is why a wrestling coach or a boxing coach will take a kid that has wrestled his entire life from a right leg lead. Let's say he's right-handed, so he puts his right leg in front in his wrestling stance. And which means that's essentially a southpaw boxing stance, right? If he puts his right leg in front in a wrestling stance, that would convert him to make the conversion to striking easier if he kept that same leg in front, right? But all these old school boxing coaches, or even modern ones that haven't learned any better, they put a kid who's did that, who's kept their right leg in front for wrestling their whole life, and then they turn them orthodox. So now the kid that's been shooting from that leg in the front his entire life, all of a sudden has to learn how to adapt and do creative striking techniques, maybe an overhand and step through, all these different unnecessary things, because he should have just been a southpaw to begin with. Like, I have a couple of guys right now that that I coach, that wrestled since they were kids, and they wrestle right leg lead, so I turn them southpaw. I've never understood that. It makes no sense to me. Oh, you're right-handed, be in a right-handed stance, even though you've already did 5 years of wrestling with your right leg in front. You might as well be a southpaw. It's not like you come from a striking background already. It's not like, oh, you wrestled the same amount. You struck the same amount of time that you wrestled. So you need to stay at orthodox because you've already did it. You have no reps as a striker. You have no reps as a striker. Why would you not start as a southpaw if you've been shooting with your right leg in front? I've never understood that. Like, I came from boxing first. I started boxing first, and I boxed with my left leg in front because because I'm orthodox. I'm right-handed. So the boxing coach turned me orthodox. Okay, no problem, because I don't have a wrestling background. So what did I do when I transitioned to MMA and went to wrestling? I learned how to shoot with my left leg in front, because that's the leg in front of my boxing stance. So why would I change that? That's essentially what a boxing coach is making a wrestler do. And I've never understood it. And I think it's they don't know what the hell they're doing, to be honest with you. They're out of touch with the game. And I'm sure there's a lot of wrestlers that don't mind it, because most of these guys that make this work are the world-class athletes. I think guys like Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler stands more orthodox, but shoots from his right leg in front, right? Well, the thing is, he's a world-class athlete. All of these athletes make this work. It's easy for Kamaru Usman to do that because he's a world-class athlete. But the average fighter out there that's coming up and they don't know where they're at, they don't know, they're building their skills. They don't know if they're ever going to be in the UFC or have an interest in it. Maybe they just want to fight a few fights. It's never made any sense. Only the special athletes ever make that work. Most people that wrestle with their right leg in front their entire life need to fight southpaw. And if you wrestle with your left leg in front, you should fight orthodox. Especially when you're coming into the sport of MMA, your main goal is going to be, if you're a wrestler first, is going to be to go to the ground. So what I think happens a lot of the time is a lot of these wrestlers end up not wrestling. They end up their career, they make it work and become great strikers because they're very good, dedicated, athletic, all of that. So they just make it work. But you'll see guys that were very good Division I wrestlers that don't shoot and don't do takedowns in MMA. And part of that is probably because they fall in love with striking. I understand that. But a part of it is also because they don't have their good leg in front. They've shot most of the time with the other leg in front. And I understand that a lot of wrestlers do switch stances some when they're shooting, but a lot of them don't. Most of them don't. Most wrestlers shoot from the same leg in front. So I've just never understood that. So something to think about. If you're a wrestler coming from a wrestling background and you're right-handed and you've been shooting with your right leg in front, I 100% think you should be telling your coach. And I would say even go as far as to lie to the coach. If you walk into a boxing gym, tell them you're left-handed. Because if you tell them you're right-handed, they're going to make you go orthodox, and then you're never going to have your good leg in front to do a takedown. So something to think about. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And I have a book out on Amazon, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing a Martial Arts School Instructor. The link is in the description below. And let me know any comment, any videos you'd like me to go over, any subjects or topics you'd like me to talk about. Thanks.